There you go. Now you should be able to hear me. Everything should be on. I'm gonna turn off my lower third too. I feel like there's no point in having that when I have it on the channel already. But all right, welcome back. So like I was saying, you couldn't hear me. The music you're listening to that you should be able to hear is my original music, my original background music from using InTo. All right, so we have this last little portion left to work on. We're recording, we're streaming, all that. I think I was just really trying to nail down the Presonator for this last little scene. I think for this, I think I want to push his head down a little bit. Maybe bring his shoulders and stuff out some too. Like that. Same thing over here. Let's bring them out just a little bit. And then we'll erase some of these portions that didn't really line up very well for us. I should be using a smoothing pen. So that works out pretty well. That looks good. So right now I'm just kind of copying the same face. And, you know, as I'm sitting here drawing this, just to kind of go over a little bit of advice again for newbie artists and stuff. Just some advice is that, you know, I think I said it before actually, and that when you're drawing is to not get too caught up in how good it looks, you know, versus how bad it looks, you know. I think the more you focus on like, oh, this doesn't look good and I have to erase this and start over and try it differently, do something different. That does help and that does work in times when you, my point is to not question yourself, you know. But to be confident in what you're drawing. I think for this, I'm gonna have the hands open. Sort of like this. Three, four. Kind of like that. Then we'll have the arms up. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Actually, what I need to do is erase this right here. This is going to be a suit with the buttons on it. That. The problem is I'm gonna have to probably erase some of the stuff that I drew in here already, like this part right there and right here. Just like that. And now we can go back and fix this right here. Put that right there. So now, if everything worked correctly, let's copy this, put it to the side. Actually, let me just go ahead and put that up here. Save the drawings for later. Same for this one. All right, so now I can get rid of this. I'm gonna go ahead and vector all this right here. That looks good. That looks really good. So I did it like this because we're not going to see all of this at the bottom. All we're going to see is all of the computer screens and everything in front of them. But first, we're going to color them in with white. For some reason, he's not coloring in. I don't know why exactly. Oh, yeah, he is. Okay. Look at that. That's good. All right, so now let's turn the why isn't it working? Sometimes drawing is like a puzzle piece. You have to like figure out where everything is at. Okay, so that's my background, that's my foreground. So he should be right in the middle of both of them. Why is it doing that? Oh, because I didn't color it in. Duh. There we go. Let me grab this, move him out of the way. Put him here. Now he's laughing behind his desk. Maniacally. Ha 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 ha. Just like that. Okay. And now I want to make sure, I think I left something out. He should have a keyboard right in front of him right here. We're not gonna make it look exactly like a keyboard, but it'll be close. It'll be close enough where people can tell that it's some sort of keyboard. And then right here, we put ha. Ha ha ha. Oop, I kind of messed that one up. And we'll color this in red. Copy that, paste it right here, and then I'm going to flip it like this. I might change this so that I might do something kind of like there we go. I think that's good. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So the next scene. Where's my next scene? It needs to be... Here we go. So now we need to see him from the side. So for his face... Let me see. No, that's not it. I need to grab the character again. Let me open up the Merv Turf. No. I need to go back and find him real quick. Character sheet. So these are all of my Philandroid's characters from the cartoon, just to kind of show a few. But for right now, I just need this guy right here. In fact, while I'm doing that, let's just go ahead and add him to the library. It's not gonna let me do that. I think I can work with this, so. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. Alright, so let's just get back to it then. Not quite what I was looking for, but we'll make it work. Tool properties. Ah, that's bad. Just kind of drawing a face real quick. And of course his hair, his ear is going to be about normal. Just need to isolate it for a second. Just kind of really concentrate what it is we're drawing. Yeah, we can get rid of that chin, and we can draw a new chin here. Perfect. Look at that. This is turning out very good. Might be a little off, but for the most part it works. Let's go ahead and group this. Oh, it's already grouped. Good. Save then. Sort of like that. That's perfect. Look at that. That's beautiful. Cool. How did you keep so focused? Well, I mean, I guess it's not really hard to stay focused. It's just it's fun. It's like playing a video game or something. It's like instead of sitting down and playing it. I mean, so right before I got on the stream, I was actually sitting down and playing video games for like a good 2 hours, right? And it's so much fun. You're engaged, you're in it, and you just enjoy it. That's kind of how this is. It's like I'm drawing it, and by the time I'm done, I see the ending. I'm like, ooh, I like how that looks, and it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a task or anything. It just feels like fun, you know? I wonder if we can get his head just a little bit smaller into this. Maybe we don't need to, really. We do need to group it, though. Yeah, that looks good. I think his hands. 2, 3, 4. And his other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Like drawing shouldn't feel like a job. And believe me, I used to draw for a job before. I used to work at this place called Medals of America, and I would do illustrations for their T-shirts and their coins. I used to do coins, shirts, decals, all kinds of graphics and stuff. And even though I was working there as a job, it didn't feel like a job because I got to do anything I wanted, and I got to draw as wild and crazy as I wanted to. The only part of it that was a job was the taskers. Like, hey, it was the quota. It's like, hey, we gotta draw. I need you to draw like 50 pictures of skulls. And I'm like, how many skulls do you need? So that made it kind of weird. This needs to be the background. But other than that, you know, draw what you like. That should be the first thing. What do you like to draw? What's fun for you? Nope, not that one either. It should be this one. Bam. Like to draw animals, like to draw anime or whatever. I know when I was when I first really started drawing, I think I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I used to draw Spider-Man all the time. And then when I got a little older, like 12 and 13, I used to draw Dragon Ball Z characters all the time. And then after that, I got into high school, and I started really focusing on people and anatomy. I kind of learned how to draw what I was looking at. It's like if I'm looking at this this lamp, then I can draw the circles, break everything down into shapes and stuff, right? And then I started really getting into the fabrics, anatomy and fabrics. I did a whole concentration on that, because that's where I was weak at. And then after that, I tried to like freehand draw a lot, and that was hard. So this is gonna be a screen where we're gonna see stuff. And then later on, I learned how to just draw comfortably. That's like the biggest lesson. If you can learn that early, then you'll be set for life. Not feeling self-conscious about how bad it looks, because this is not, look at this. This isn't my best artwork at all, right? I mean, it's cool, it's fun, but it's not my best. Like, I've drawn some like realistic snakes and dragons and alligators and stuff. But once I learned, it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna draw like little stick figure, and I'm just gonna put like little muscles on them. I'm gonna make them run, and I'm gonna make them do this. Then it's kind of like, oh wow, you can draw. And I was like, not really. But then you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you become comfortable. That's when your best work comes out, to me. So, oh, see, I knew I shouldn't have did that. We'll do that right there. Oh man, I messed up big time. That line should stay like that. There we go. Because what I'm gonna do is put him right here. I'm gonna change his hands up. Right here. Right here. Just in those two places right there. Good. So for this one, we'll just get rid of. We'll do a hand swipe right here. But it's technically not going to lose any of this at all. It's just going to be one hand swipe. So let's get rid of all this. Put it right there. See Murder Drones. I've drawn some characters from them before. Yeah, so Murder Drones. I actually just recently learned about Murder Drones about, what was it, 3 days ago? That was definitely a surprise for me. I've never seen Murder Drones before. And, I mean, I grew up on stuff like, Murder Drones I think is more recent. I grew up on, like, Rocko's Modern Life, man, what else? Disney Channel stuff, DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Chippendales, not Chippendales, Rescue Rangers, yeah, it was Chip and Dale and Rescue Rangers, man, what is Tailspin, stuff like that, more recent, regular show, Rick and Morty, and that kind of stuff, but let me look at it, Murder Drones. So, someone's dad told me about Murder Drones the other day. I was like, whoa, this is different. It's like, what, cleaning lady robots? And they have like different colors, and it's got like a goth kind of look to it. That's kind of cool. That's kind of different. See, now I'm going to have to look into it because it's a different style than I'm not used to. So I'm going to have to see if there's some inspiration I can get out of it. So you say you draw stuff like this then, right? Prefer to make my own. So you make your own characters kind of like Murder Drones? let's do this. We're gonna have his hand. I might do his hand because he's gonna like swipe the screen, so maybe he'll put his hand out like this. So he's doing this, so then, so I'll have his hand kind of pointed out then. And then we'll give him like a Gumby arm. Oh, that's good. That's good. Just like that. And then we won't really make it. Yeah, DuckTales, used to watch them. Also, how did you sum up with your? How did I come up with my characters? Ooh, yeah. So, how did I come up with the characters? You know what? Let's do that real quick. So this is the cartoon you see me working on is it's my own personal cartoon. It's called Philandroids. It's about this robot named Phil, and he's an android, you know. So that's pretty simple, all by itself, right? I decided one day that I wanted to not just draw all the time, but I wanted to get into actual animation itself. I don't know where this line is coming from. Anyways, I wanted to get into animation itself too. So I just had this idea to make a robot, and what was something a robot does? It turns on, right? Like a computer. So I had it where he walks into a mall and he picks up a controller and he sees this girl robot and he pushes the button and she powers up. And then she turns evil and she chases him. That was my first ever animation. I don't think I even have it anymore. I think it's gone. But yeah, that was the first thing I came up with, just to kind of practice, right? And then the next thing I started doing, I went and got other characters because I didn't have my own like you. I was like, how do I make up my own characters? I don't know. So let me start by doing other characters I already know, like. Not Dragon Ball Z, but I did Marvel characters and DC characters. I did a lot of characters that people don't know about so that I can learn about them and I can have fun drawing them too. And I did, what's that, Suicide Squad, right? So I did Bloodshot. I did all these Batman characters. I did Joker. Did Thundercats. I don't know if you know Thundercats. I did all the Thundercat characters. I did a Rocky movie animation. I just kept copying other people's animations from movies and TV shows I already knew. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm done doing other people's stuff. I want to make my own. And that's why I went back to that first cartoon I ever did while I was practicing. I was like, how can I make this into a story? And then I took a little break and I went to watch some cartoons. That's what I did. I went and watched cartoons that I liked. I watched Regular Show. I watched Rick and Morty. I must have watched Rick and Morty I watched like the first 5 seasons like 6 times. I watched it, finished it, and watched it again, and I watched it again, and I watched it again. And I kind of studied, before I even made the characters, I studied the story. I was like, what makes a good story? A good story is, you have a character, he wants to do something. What does he want to do? He has a friend. The friend is silly, or the friend is always getting on his nerves, and they do things, they get in shenanigans, and they laugh, and they fight, and there's powers, and whatever. And then that's why I came up with the android. I was like, well, I have the android. Androids are funny. And then I was like, it can't just all be androids. Maybe he has a human friend. And then that's where all these came from. I just kept creating more. These guys didn't even have anything. I just created another android. Tax. I created Brass. I created another girl. I wanted another human character. I was like, why do we have to do androids and humans? Let's do some hot dogs. So I did a wiener. His name is Jesse. There's a corn dog. They're the cops. I started thinking about Terminator. What about Terminator? I did Presidentator, like the president, but he's a robot. Dat. I did Dat. Oza, like a big girl. Caleb Randall. I don't know he's just a random guy. And you just keep creating. And then next thing you know, you got a story. So I would say if you have any drawings or anything you started with, maybe give your drawing a name. Maybe her name is Isabel. And she lives on clouds and she wants to go on Earth to do something, you know? Think about what you want to do. If you had a fantasy, you want to go somewhere and do something, what would that be? And make a character out of it. Alright, so let's get back to it. Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. I know it's hard trying to start from scratch with a lot of this. But believe me, once you start doing it, it's so much fun. And you see your end result. Actually, let me go back real quick. If you're still looking, if you're still watching. So I'm at the end of my second episode of my cartoon, right? And so far, this is everything I've done. Yeah. See, my second episode. So Greg is the human guy, and Phil is the robot. He's the main character, but they're both the main characters, right? So they're in their apartment. He's working on his laptop, and it's Power Grip. Power Grip is like I don't know a tool brand like Firestone, and they're selling power tools, Power Grip power tools. I thought I saw a mistake somewhere. So Power Grip sells tools, and you use their screwdrivers to turn on your engines. Power tools. It's silly stuff. It's not awesome. It's not even. It doesn't make any sense. But you know, they're just being silly. Oh, look at that. That's a mistake. I gotta fix that. I'm glad I came back. His mouth is off put. But everything you see here I had to hand draw, right? He's like, ooh, I can't believe you're watching that. It's like, why don't you? So we need to go and get into something. It's like, stop being so bad, Greg. It's bad. He's like, what? I don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, whatever. And then here's a dating show. I don't know if you've seen Jerry Springer, but it's supposed to be like a Jerry Springer show. And so he's got the girl there and her boyfriend, and they have a baby, and maybe that's his baby. We don't know, right? And so the guy's like, why? He's like, is this your baby? Why are you acting like that? He's like, you need to come and make sure you take care of your baby. See that baby? And it's like an ugly baby. It's like, we're gonna find out today if that's your baby. He's like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's a long shot. This baby's kind of cute, but, and she's like, Jesse, you better come get your baby. You know, that's your baby. You know, it's the worst kind of TV you could ever watch, you know. Is it? You better come get your baby right now. And then he's like, all right, the results are in. And they say that, Jesse, you are not the father. She's like, oh my gosh. He's like, yeah, and he starts dancing and stuff. You know, how they do on the Jerry Springer show. It's just ignorant, you know. And that's just a little commercial, little TV show they're watching. He's like, wow, I can't believe this. And he's like, yeah, I can't believe she thought that was his baby, man. Lisa's tripping, you know. It's like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we watching this? And then they just get to talking, and they get some ideas, and more stuff happens. He goes on a dating app. He starts to make his profile. He puts in his description. Hey, my name is Phil, and I really want to meet you. I'm looking for some girls. And then he clicks the profile, and he puts his face on there. He looks ugly. And he saves it. And then all these girls, you know, they hit him up. And then, so he's a robot, or android. So all this is in his head. It's on his profile while he's sleeping. And he wakes up. He's like, oh my goodness. It's like, Greg, you won't believe this. I have so many matches. Oh my gosh. So what do I do now? He's like, what do you mean? What? It's like, which one? How many matches do you get? He's like, you get a lot? And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. It's like, oh boy. And he's clicking. And he's like, now you have to go on a date with him. But then he accidentally sends it to all the girls that he matched with. He's like, I can't believe you just did that. What are you doing? So he's like, did I do something wrong? It's like, you just matched and sent a date request to every single girl that matched with you. You know how crazy and insane that is? He's like, not really. It's like, now you have to go on a date with every girl. He's like, oh well. Here you go, stud. It's like, get ready for the wildest time of your life. He's like, oh boy. So he goes on the dates. And the first date he goes on is this little small nerdy girl with these glasses. And he's just talking. They're having a good time. They're at a restaurant, having a good time. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I like to make cartoons, and you know, I like to talk. And she's just falling asleep. And she's a nice girl. She's just sitting there listening. So she's getting tired, and then she falls asleep. He's talking. But then there's this studly man. He walks by with his big chin and his red hair, and he's so studly. She's like, wow. Her eyes get real big, like in the Looney Tunes cartoons and stuff. She's like, stud. And she leaves. And he's like, what just happened? So this is actually a remake of my original cartoon I told you that I started with. I was like, I can put that into the cartoon here. So I made the girl a character named Brass, and he's supposed to go on a date with her, but she works at a mall as a mannequin, and she's turned off. So he walks in. He's like, oh, I'm here for the date. Oh, okay. Press to turn me on. There's a button with a little red button. Do you push it? I don't know. Should you push it? It says to push it. He's like, no way. He's like, I guess I'm gonna push it. And then she's thinking, but then she turns into a monster. He's like, oh my gosh. And she's really aggressive. She's coming on way too strong. She's a monster. And then she chases him, and they run away. That wasn't a good date. And then this next one. So there's a nice girl. Okay. They like to rollerblade. They're roller skating. You know, they're at the roller rink or whatever. He's having a good time. Look at it. He's having so much fun. She's having so much fun, having a good time. But then she gets really competitive, and she turns into a car, and she speeds off. And then she comes back around and runs him over. And it's like, oh no. Okay. Oh, see, that's something there messed up too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. So that wasn't a good date either. Jeez. So now he's on his last date, and he's not happy. He's like, this has been crap. He's sitting here. This is where I'm actually voicing the main character, and I'm like, man, this is sucked. I can't believe this is how dates are. Is this how dates really are? Are women really this tough, man? I can't believe it. And then Greg's on the phone with him, talking to him. Yep. And he's eating his chips. I thought I colored that. He's eating his chips. He's like, crunch, 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 crunch. Munch, munch. He's like, yeah, well, you know, this is what you wanted. It's like, munch, munch, munch. He's like, I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated. It's like a cut scene, you know, it's like cross. And he pushes him, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Man. So it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall, where he's pushing, he's like angry at Greg, but he's pushing on the screen, and Greg's like, calm down. He's like, anger, 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 anger. It's like, man, don't sweat it. You got one more date. Just, you know, entertain her or whatever, call it a day, and you'd be done. And it's over. There's a lot more he says, but... So, he goes back to his slump. He's like, okay, whatever. And then the last girl comes. She's a nice size girl. She ain't a small girl. She comes walking by. She's like, oh, there he is. Oh. She's like, hey there. Are you Phil? And he's like, huh? And there she is in full glory. Pam. I need to do like a, I think I'm going to do like a name thing. We're just going to like, Pam. Right there on the front. I was like, yeah, hey, I'm Phil. What do you want? And she's like, I can't believe you. You're being so disrespectful and mean. I can't believe you. I was like, yeah. Anyways, you're so He gets really exaggerated. So you're so exuberant. Like sarcastic. She's like, I'll teach you to disrespect me once I transform. And she transforms into a giant vacuum machine. And then she just starts, you know, sucking up everything. All these little people and trash. And he's like, oh my gosh. She just went crazy on me. She went crazy. It's like, this is wild. What's going on? It's like, what are you doing? This is what you wanted. You wanted to date. Here you are. Now suck it up. Be a man. This is summarizing. He's like, suck it up. Be a man. And just do what you're supposed to do. He's like, you're right. You're right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a man. I was like, I got this. And he gets his determination. And he's like, here I come. And then, so this just happens really fast. This is what the action comes in. And then he's like, And he spins around. And then he puckers his lips. And it's coming up really fast. He's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then his lips turns into a projectile. And he's flying at super fast speeds. And then he crashes into her. Boom. Probably need to make that a little bit longer. It's like, boom. And turns out, he gave her such a huge French kiss that he accidentally sucked her all up. And then he spits her out. I was just like, I can't believe you did that. That was amazing. He's like, you know, this dating thing is not as bad. Once you have a little confidence and, you know, just be yourself. Meeting people doesn't have to be scary after all. So there's a lesson he learned in this whole thing, right? So it doesn't have to be scary after all. Maybe I'll take it a little easy on how many I date, but yeah. He's like, man, you're weird. This whole thing, you're weird. And then he goes off into the sunset. And that's the end. So that's the episode. That's the episode I'm working on. As you can see, I have most of it done. I think I started drawing this around January or February. And I do about an hour, about 3 hours a week working on it. And this is what I got so far. But after it's done, wait a second. There's an extra credit scene where we see the Presidinator. And that's what I'm working on right now. Where the Presidinator is like the main villain of the whole story, but he hasn't interacted with Phil just yet. He's working on his schemes behind the scenes. So, we're just finishing this up. He's working at his computer. He's rubbing his hands. He's laughing maniacally. Ha 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 ha. And then right here, what you see me drawing now is he's swiping the screen. And then there's more after that. So, yes, exactly. So I hope you, I don't know, have gotten something from this whole thing, and see how much fun that it can be. You know, don't try to draw everything so perfect. Because at the end of the day, your drawings can be a stick figure, it can be a circle, it can be a line, it can be anything. But if the story behind it is fun and it's interesting and it's funny and all that kind of stuff, and you like it, other people are gonna like it, and yeah, I don't think there's much more to it. I can't wait to get it out. So I'm finishing the drawing and stuff now, and then I'm gonna record my voice. Like I said, I'm the main character. I'm Phil. I have some friends of mine. They have 3 other ones. They're gonna do all the other voices. I'm gonna get it all together, make some of those changes I was talking about. I'm gonna put music to it, like you hear my music right here. And yes, I am gonna release it probably in January is what I'm looking at. And yeah, and then I'm gonna start episode 3. And we'll go from there. I'm also gonna make some shirts and hats and all kinds of merchandise and everything. I am cartoons. I make all of this myself. I draw all of it myself. I write all of it myself. And yeah, you can look at January, start of the new year. And yeah, just let me know if there's any other questions you might have. Definitely. I appreciate it. I really would appreciate it. I think I'll probably finish up this scene right here. And then I'll call the stream. I should be able to do this one pretty easy without having to pre-draw. Something like this. Perfect. Let me copy this, and I'm going to put it right here. Perfect. Let's see. Throw some white in here. Nope. Oh. Have to vector it first. Might even pass the merchants. Oh, I would appreciate that. See, you know what? Now you're inspiring me. I gotta get it done now. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me ask you a question now. What kind of merch would you want? Do you want a hat? You want a shirt? You want shoes? I can do it. I can do shoes. I can do some fly shoes now. I haven't created anything yet, so I don't know what people want. I don't know what they like. See if you can help me out. Yeah, let's see. I need to do this one too. So right here, he's laughing. He's like, ha 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 ha. This needs to be the same as this. Let me just play it out. That's good. That's good. So what I can probably do here is have... I'm gonna have to redraw this, I think. Well, not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. I don't have to redraw it. Paste this in here. Let's do this, 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 this. Okay. Okay. All right. I tell you what. I got one more question for you before I end the stream. What is your name? What's your name? I'd like to know. I'd like to know who I'm talking to. Yes, yes, I do know your dad. Wait, once you mentioned murder drones, I was like, yep, that's who it is. All right. Well, Sophia, I really appreciate you joining me. I appreciate all the love and the interest and the questions. You know, drawing is fun, but it's always more fun with other people. And just having a good time. So I appreciate it. So with that being said, I'm just gonna set up one more little thing. I'm looking for it. Can't seem to find what I'm looking for. There it is. That one right here. See, I always try to save my drawings. Put him right there. All right, I'm gonna end it right there. Like I said, thank you, Sophia, for joining me. I appreciate you and your dad. And what's today? Saturday. I usually stream every Monday and Wednesday. I like to say Fridays, but I almost never keep to the Fridays. So I'm gonna say Monday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock, about this time, and I end at usually around 8 o'clock. So if you want to see some more, if you want to join me again, then you can see me then. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time, and stay tuned.